Hello, everybody. Yeah, we are live on air and we are live on the video. So everything is rocking and rolling in the studio today here at 4680Q. My name is Paul Calebir. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. That's right. That's where we're at. That's where we're located in the studios of 4680Q Internet Radio. Woo, it's a hot one out there today. Another one. Oh, this is beautiful. I mean, we waited for this weather, but before we get to any of the news, we are going to talk about. Let's see. We're going to talk about my sponsors, right? We have to acknowledge my sponsors because they pay the way here. Let's face it. Without the sponsors, we really don't have a lot going on, right? We have to have sponsors. So, in that regard, I am going to tip my hat to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Home Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Now, it's hot out there, and I'm telling you, without air conditioning in your car, it's a miserable trip anywhere in this heat and humidity. And especially if you're going to take your kids and go on vacation. Next week they're off. Some are even off now, maybe. And they're going to want to go places. You can't just sit them at home for the summer. You want to go here, you want to go there, you take your vacation. And guess what? You want to go places. So what do? You hop in your car. And what's your car going to do? It's going to break down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to. If you don't take care of it, it's going to break down. And it always breaks down at the most inopportune time. So what you do is you go to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. You have a chat with Ken Hunter. He jumps your car onto his diagnostic equipment. He tells you any potential problems or any existing problems. Then he looks at your brakes. Then he looks at your tires. Then he changes your oil. He makes sure your car is running tip top so you have a fantastic summer with no breakdowns. And that's the way you want it. Believe me, he has a full body shop there. So if you get in a little fender bender or a major collision, just get them to take your car there. Ken will fix it up for you. It'll come out of his shop, factory new, shiny and bright. And you know what? You're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. Ken's going to be happy. Your cars are going to be happy. Your kids are going to be happy. Your wife is going to be happy. And you know what they say, happy wife, happy life. So go down there, talk to Ken, get your car checked. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Go see him today. Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. What do you call that? You using our sponsors, Yeah. Supporting our sponsors. That's what you call it. God, I feel like Joe Biden sometimes over here. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yeah, go see Wild Bill. That's a good thing. So other housekeeping here I have to do. I want to wish Chris Regas a happy 50th birthday. It was yesterday. Now he's one of the guys who comes in the studio all the time. He's my region guy, the guy that I call on to tell me about the region. And you know what he says when he comes in? If he hasn't heard anything, they're plotting to spend more of your money. Happy birthday to Chris, the big 5-0. Gee, I remember when he was 49 2 days ago. I think Chris's birthday was yesterday, like I said. Regardless, I'm sure Chris had a great day celebrating a half century on the third rock from the sun. Cheers, my friend, and here's the 50 more. Good luck to you. And he'll be back again. Don't worry about it. And speaking of Chris Regas, yesterday we had the winner of the Thursday's Secret Word Thursday. And the winner was Chris Simone. Maybe he calls himself Chris Simon, but it's got an E on the end, so I call him Chris Simone. And and hopefully it's not a woman. I don't know these days, right? Congratulations to Chris. It was the fifth person to message me the secret word, which was salmon. This was the last Secret Word Thursday for the month, and I want to thank Chris Regas from the Old Fire Hall Restaurant, 4680Q Radio, Internet Radio, Your City, Your Voice on Facebook, and that's the name of my show, Your City, Your Voice, and Restaurant Reviews Niagara for sponsoring these great giveaways over the months. Chris can pick up his $25 certificate from the Old Fire Hall Restaurant in St. David's, Niagara Lake, whatever you want to call it. Us old guys call it St. David's. That's what we know it as, and that's what we're used to saying. Oh, yeah, so that's it. Happy birthday to Chris. Thank you for the gift certificates. Thank you for all the listeners and the viewers who actually participated in the giveaway. There's a whack of people who got certificates. I hope they go down there and enjoy a great dinner. The Old Fire Hall restaurant is second to none. It's a really hidden gem in this area, and I hope everybody goes down, sits down with Chris, has a nice dinner, and then does a review on Restaurant Reviews Niagara. Right? That would be awesome. So what else we got going on here? Well, this heat and that, of course, what does it bring out of the woodwork? All the climate change clowns. Oh yeah. Now they're really laying it on thick. You gotta listen to them with a shovel. They're laying it on so thick. You might get stuck in the excrement that they're spreading. Oh yeah, see, this is this heat. This is climate change right here. This is what they warned you about. Al Gore told you about this in 1980. He said that it's going to get so warm by 1990 that Manhattan will be underwater. And guess what? No, Manhattan's not underwater, and it ain't going to be underwater in our lifetime. It ain't going to be underwater in your kids and your kids and your kids and your kids. I mean, maybe in 10,000 years, like something like that. But this is the perfect opportunity for them to hammer you about this, grab more money because it's the biggest transfer of wealth in seen in our history other than COVID. And yeah, that's what's going on. So listen, the news, they went from convicted felon to climate change in a week. Oh yeah, they went through that. But you'll be hearing that word a lot, convicted felon, next week when the debate is. You'll be hearing that a lot. Oh boy. He'll be calling him Biden. What do I call him? Leiden. I call him Leiden now. He lies all the time. His uncle was eaten by cannibals. Don't forget that. I call him Leiden, and he'll be saying that in the debate next week. But yeah, watch for climate change because they're going to start picking your pockets like crazy now. Because it's hot out. It's hot. I mean, didn't we just wait all winter for this? And then it was a cold June, and everybody was complaining about June. Oh, it sucks. June sucks. And now it's here, and everybody's freaking out because it's hot. I mean, I don't get it. But you know what? Any opportunity to pick your pocket, guess what? They're going to use it to their advantage. So apparently last night, a couple of boneheads got lost in the gorge and they had to call rescue. I got a message from Tara Triolet. I mean, I have people that just wander around the city messaging me what's going on. And it was about 2 a.m, I guess. They got the call. Now imagine rescue workers having to go down the gorge in the pitch black to rescue people. I just don't get it. The gorge is a dangerous place. Locals respect it. Other than drunks maybe falling over the wall down the river road, just down the road over here, about half a mile. Once in a while, you see a drunk wandering down and fall over, or somebody running from the cops, and he jumps over the wall, not realizing there's nothing on the other side except a 100, 200-foot drop. But other than that, why the hell are these people even wandering around the gorge when it's 100 degrees during the day? They're looking for trouble, these people. And there's some crazy people who go down there and it's 100 degrees and they swim. Even worse. So, yeah, I don't know why they're looking for trouble. Never mind the dangers of the gorge. I mean, it's just dangerous down there. If you don't know what you're doing down there, ask Gary Wilkins. He'll tell you. He goes down all the time. He knows what he's doing. That guy could be your Red Hill. He knows exactly what the gorge means. But they're looking for trouble if they don't know what's going on down there. I hope they charge them for the cost of this save. We send all our rescue guys out and everything else, and I hope they charge them. I hope they give them a bill, get their names and everything else, and take their Visa or MasterCard or American Express and charge them for it. And, this could actually cost somebody their life, one of the rescuers, to go down there and rescue these clowns. It happens every summer. There should be a warning posted around about wandering around at your own risk. And I'm sure there's tons of warnings telling them, like, stay on the paths. Don't wander off the paths. They have paths down there you can walk and be safe. Now these people wander all over the place. It's at your own risk. And if you get stuck and have to be rescued, get your credit card ready. Amex, Visa, MasterCard, Diners Club accepted. Dumbasses. It just irks you because these people have to go down there on ropes and pulleys and cranes and everything else. It costs the city a lot of money to do this. We just bought a $3 million new fire truck that can go down the gorge, specialty equipment, and it's because of these guys. They just won't leave it alone. Every summer, every week almost, and the hotter it gets, the goofier people get, and the more stupid things they do. Anyway, Hopefully they got out all right. Yeah, we don't want anybody to die, but I don't just worry about them. They're stuck down there. Oh, their loved ones. Somebody said on Facebook. Oh, their loved one. Hey, what if your loved one's one of these rescue guys that got to put their life on the line to go down and get these jerks? Yeah, yeah. Never think about the rescue people. Always about the people stuck down there. Oh, oh, oh yeah, their loved ones. Yeah, right. See you later. Stay out of the gorge if you don't know what you're doing. Stay on the trails. Read the signs. Obey the signs even better. So we don't have to put our Niagara Falls people at risk to go and rescue some Gavones wandering around the gorge. So you think the Drummond Road Railway crossing is bad? You think so, right? I go over there and I have to go 2 miles an hour because you smash your car. It's so uneven in that, and the road is so bad. If you don't like that one, stay away from Kaler Road by Beaver Dams. That train crossing there by Hodgson Steel, you can lose your undercarriage or worse, maybe your dentures. Apparently, this old wooden style crossing is reaching the end of the line, and local residents are paying for it with damage if they don't almost come to a stop when crossing the tracks. Now, is that? I don't want to stop on railway tracks. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, this is what they have to do. Mel Rankin, a gentleman that lives in that area, it crosses the track almost every day. He says the tracks were rough 10 years ago, and they're a lot worse now. Now, of course, it's referred to the city hall, the council, city hall, and staff. And Eric Idle, the city manager, says that it's an issue they were aware of. Really? And he was apparently surprised at the deterioration. He says it seems like the tracks have got worse just in the past short while. Well, I guess 10 years isn't that long in the whole realm of the world being a billion years. But, you know, he was surprised. Listen, you've built thousands of homes out that way. You've developed that whole area there. You've put thousands of people out there. That Kaler Road gets more traffic in a week than 10 years ago it got in a year. And he's surprised that stuff is wearing out. The road's wearing out and the tracks are wearing out. Are you kidding me? This guy's our city manager. Well, the city has had tremendous growth, and that's the way it goes. People, cars ride the roads, they break down the roads, they break down the tracks, they break down everything. Does anyone actually go around and check these things in the city or make any proactive decisions? Go around looking and saying, geez, 10 years ago it was bad. It's getting worse. Maybe we'll start the process now. Because what he says is that, with the increased trains on the tracks as well, I mean, you've got heavier trains, longer trains, and that kind of thing. You would expect them to deteriorate fast, as well as the number of people going over them every day. So you'd think you'd say, well, maybe we should go make sure they're well maintained. And I know it's CN or somebody else's responsibility to repair them. It's not the cities, never the cities, to ensure the crossings are in good working order. And even when they start to deteriorate, nobody looks at it. But CN could be notified, maybe 5 years ago and said, we need these fixed and start working on the process, and we'd have it done by now. It's just one excuse after the other. It's CN's fault. Everything to do with the railways is tricky and challenging, according to Eric Idle. They have to find out who's responsible for what. Man, you would think after being incorporated since 1904, there'd be records saying who was responsible for what. But no, nobody has a clue. We don't know who's responsible. Region, city, province, CNN, what's his name? King Charles? Who knows? Well, good luck to the people that use this road. Slow down. All you're going to get for a long time is this a caution bump ahead sign. That's what you're going to get. Because the way everything moves, it's so slow. Those freight trains that go through the city barely moving. That's how they move to fix the tracks too. So, sorry about your luck. Sorry about your luck. And thanks to Ray Spateria, the review, for this great article. He always writes great articles, and this is one of them. So Yeah, I mean, the trains, always the trains. It's always a choo choo. Either they're blocking the city, cutting the city in half, stop dead for an hour, half an hour, whatever. They don't care. And now they can't even fix the railway crossings to save everybody's car. How sad. But then again, they only do what they have to. So unless you push them a little bit, they're not going to do anything. So hopefully we can get some push from Mayor Jim, who allegedly has a great rapport with CN. Um, okay, you know, he can call him, he can talk to him. That's a great rapport, I guess, because they sure don't listen to him when it comes to moving the trains, getting the trains out of the middle of the city. And they haven't listened to him for 12 years since he's been there anyway. So the great rapport is maybe on perception on one side and not reality on both sides. That's for sure. Some bad news to the renters on the renters. If you're renting, some bad news. The average cost of renting a one-bedroom apartment in St. Catharines climbed 1.1% from April to May. Here we go. Prices are going up, and they're coming in at about $1,680 as compared to $1,663 the month before, and that's for a one-bedroom apartment. It's not a huge increase, but still a significant increase over 1 month. Take it out over a year, and you're looking at probably being about $1,800 by the end of the year if it keeps on escalating like that. And that just puts more stress on renters as they face a barrage of increases across the board to live. Things cost more. Gas costs more. Food costs more. Everything costs more. This is just another pin in the voodoo doll called the taxpayer. Excuse me. Okay, so now in Niagara Falls, it was a 4% jump from 1554 a month to 1616 a month in May. So we're not exempt from this. However, that price was down 8.7% from last year's high, so we're still in bargain territory here. I've got this crazy cough. I don't know why I get in the studio, air conditioning blowing on you. You start to cough, so I'll get over it in a minute. Don't worry. Just give me a cough break here. All right. I'll chug some water down. Now, for two bedrooms, the news is better, with the average price dropping marginally to 1934 from 1936 in St. Catharines. But in Niagara Falls, the cost of renting a two-bedroom unit averaged 2027 in May, up from April's 1960. So we saw an increase in the two-bedroom price. The Niagara Falls and St. Catharines prices were below the national average, if that makes you feel any better, of 1942 for a one-bedroom and 2380 for a two-bedroom. So if you go somewhere else in the province or the country, you probably will have to pay a little bit more in some places. All in all, we go back to the fact that no matter what the price is, affordable housing is tough to obtain in Niagara Falls, and affordable housing is only affordable if you can afford it, right? It's only affordable if you can afford it. What we need is not affordable housing by definition based on incomes that are above the average of the incomes of city residents. They have a number they use for affordable housing, and city residents make a little bit less than the number they use to discern affordable housing from non-affordable housing, I guess. But subsidized housing, where people with lower incomes are subsidized so they can afford the high prices, and that includes a lot more people than you think in the Niagara region. Believe me, they give you these numbers, but the truth, I think Laurie Lococo, Councilor Coco, said it, is a lot different than the numbers that they give you. But anyway, there you go. Prices are escalating again. I mean, interest rates drop, prices go up. The more interest rates drop, the more prices are going to go up. The more people can get in the market, the more people can get in the market, the less houses there are to choose from, the less houses there are to choose from. People get in bidding wars, and once they get in bidding wars, guess what happens? Up, 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 up. So it's called inflation. What are you gonna do? Now, is, Islamophobia mania is running rampant in Toronto. Oh yeah, yeah, it's bad scene in Toronto, bad scene in Toronto. The men in blue are investigating a truck rolling around the streets of Toronto, allegedly displaying Islamophobic messages. Now, we know how many Karens live in Toronto. So you even mention a negative word, you're automatically Islamophobic, racist, a white supremacist, a Nazi, whatever else they could think of calling you at the time. They just reach for these things and use them at randomly. I mean, if you say affirmative action is a bad thing, which it is, you're a racist, you're a white supremacist, or a Nazi. Nazi too, you're a Nazi too. And of course, you're some kind of a phobic, whether it's homophobic, Islamophobic, I don't know, you name it. There's all kinds of phobics. They just put phobic on anything. So you decide. Here we go. Apparently, the message on the truck said to be owned by Rebel News, and nobody likes this guy. No left wing kook loves what's his name, Ezra Levin or something like that. Nobody likes this guy from Rebel News. But the messages were created by a group called Canadians Opposed to the Occupation of Our Streets and Campuses. Well, yeah, they're camped out on the front with all these big signs and the Free Palestine, referring to the multitude of protesters camping out at university campuses protesting Israel's removal of the terrorist group from Gaza, Hamas. Yeah, they want them out of Gaza. They want to wipe them out totally after they pulled that October 7th crap of going in, slaughtering 1,200 people, taking 250 plus hostages, and not releasing them. And half those hostages are dead now. Right? And it also had messages on the truck reading, is this Lebanon? Is this Yemen? Is this Syria? Is this Iraq? The screen then shows images of Muslims kneeling in prayer, followed by, no, this is Canada. Wake up, Canada. You are under siege. Now, of course, the National Coalition of Canadian Muslims do not believe in free speech and are citing these messages as extremely dangerous messaging that should not be condoned. But it's okay for Palestinian protesters to block bridges, block traffic, camp out on campuses, refuse to move until they get their demands are met. And half of these people aren't even from the university. They're professional protesters who have nothing better to do than just wander around from city to city, camping out with these scarves on their head, saying "Death to Israel." From river to sea, set Palestine free, which is basically wipe out all the Israelis. The same messages that not even maybe worse than the bus or the truck that's got the messages on it. And no problem. In the States, I mean, they're saying death to Americans. They're burning American flags, blocking bridges, causing havoc in democratic states and cities. They don't do that in a small town. Just try that in a small town. You get their asses beat. But anyway, that's what they're doing. 1,200 people, they forget about the 1,200 slaughtered on October 7th and 250 hostages by Palestinian Hamas terrorists on October 7th that started this whole thing. Now, most of the hostages, of course, like I said, are dead. That's never mentioned. And Hamas doesn't want to give anything up. I mean, I think the messages are true. Canada has to wake up. These special interest groups that are so intent on taking away your right to free speech are intent on having their right, and their right only, to free speech. They can say what they want without repercussion. If you say it, you're a racist, a Nazi, a homophobe, a Islamophobe, whatever. And they say this is Canada. And I mean, like it or leave it, this is Canada. And let me ask these gavones why they aren't protesting Hamas. They've had many chances to lay down their arms, Hamas, and release the hostages, ending the dispute. That's what the Israelis have been asking for all along. But they responded with more rockets and killings. I mean, why don't these people go back to Gaza, go back to with all the other Palestinians and protest Hamas? They're the ones that are causing the trouble. Or even better, go back there and fight for their land. Their land's so important to them, they're willing to block cities and sit on campuses, but they won't go back to their homeland and fight for it. They do it here by yelling and screaming at us. Yeah, that's because they're gutless wonders, intent on making trouble in Canada while their terrorist free speech is allowed. Yeah, the truck with a message asking Canadians to wake up to what is happening around them are Islamophobic messages. Give me a break. We'll see what the coppers do about this, and you watch the professional protesters line up and start making trouble about this. If the truck was rolling around with anti Canadian messages, it'd be okay. Or anti Israeli messages, it would be okay. We see it every day in the streets of America with the American flag being burned and death to America. That's okay, not hate speech. People really do have to wake up to what is going on around them. Most Canadians are hardworking people, regardless of color, race, or creed. They don't have time to camp out for weeks and months making ridiculous demands. God bless the people that work and they contribute to this country. But the devil that takes these professional protesters and forces them to live to cause chaos in the lives of honest citizens, no, no. Get the cops, get them out of there, clear them out, tell them to go home, tell them to get a job, and especially the ones that aren't even at those universities that they just come to cause trouble. We got to realize they're here to cause chaos and disrupt the lives of honest citizens. That's all they're doing. So I don't feel sorry for them. The truck's running around. Let it run around. Freedom of speech. They want to tell Canadians to wake up. I mean, I hear people telling them every day to wake up. Not only just about this, about the government and how they're running the country, and how they got truckers in jail for 2 years without any reason, and how they froze bank accounts and arrested people and brought in the heavies with the horses, trampling people in with walkers. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wake up, people. Wake up. It's time. Okay, let's go to our second sponsor. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Yes, that's right. You go by these houses, they're lit up at night. They look so beautiful. They look beautiful. And you go, how the heck do they do this? Well, it's Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, the leaders in permanent track lighting. Yeah, you don't have to put up Christmas lights anymore. You don't have to take them down. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting comes in. They put up track lighting around your house, wherever you want it. And you don't even see it in the daytime. You don't even notice it there. It's invisible. But at night, that's when it really comes to life. And you have it on your phone. There's a box they have that goes into your Wi-Fi. You have it on your phone. You can change them to a million different colors. You want red and green for Christmas? Done. They have zones for the lights, so you can change them. Red and green, done. Red and white for Canada Day, done. St. Patrick's Day, green, done. Orange for Halloween, done. You don't have to lift a finger other than to do this on your phone and choose it and choose what zone you want, what color in, and that's it. It's done. How simple is that? Now, these lights are all soldered together and sealed. Dust, no problem. Water, no problem. And it's a 10-year warranty on them. They're all LED lights, so you don't have to worry about your hydro bill going sky high. No, they hardly use any energy. They're beautiful. And if you want to Griswold your house to the max, I mean, you really want to light it up. You got a corner house and you want all sides lit up. They have affordable financing. You can finance them. You can finance the things and get what you exactly want on your house. So, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, give Colin Buckborough a call. He'll come and give you a free estimate. His number is 289 969 1797. That's it. Pick up the phone. 289 969 1797. Colin Buckborough. He's going to come out and give you a free quote, and you're going to be the happiest camper around. You're going to be the happiest camper around. It's going to give you a free quote, and you can get him to put it up. You want to see examples of their work? Just go to glowstonelighting.com on the internet, just like it sounds. GLOWSTONELIGHTING, glowstonelighting.com, and you can see examples of their work. Just beautiful stuff. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Give Colin a call today. Get him over there. Get him over there before Canada Day. You're going to have nice red and white lights. You only got another couple weeks before we celebrate that. Okay, let's move on here. We've talked about everything. I've got myself in enough trouble already here today. That's okay. I could take it. I could take it. Now we're going to check these off. See, I check them off so I don't repeat myself. I want to make sure where I am in the whole scheme of things here. Let's go down south and see how the presidential election is going. Now, we know next week, on June 27th, that's Thursday, we're going to see the first presidential debate. Now, over the last 2 weeks, we've seen how confused and decrepit Joe Biden is. He can barely get out a sentence and without mumbling, and is wandering off and totally freezing on stage is well documented. So we've seen him freeze. And then, of course, the left is spinning it as, what are they calling it? Fake news or something. I mean, they're taking a line out of Donald Trump's playbook. The fake news is calling that news fake news by the fake news. I mean, they are the fake news, right? So you saw him freezing on stage, and Obama had to lead him off because he couldn't move, and then you saw him at that G7 where they were all watching these paratroopers land, and all of a sudden he turned around and went the other way out in the field. I don't know, he's giving a thumbs up to some guy in the field while everybody else is watching what's in front of him, just totally oblivious to what everybody else is doing. The Italian Prime Minister, I think her name is Gianna Meloni, she had to go and get him by the arm and bring him back. And then before they could even get him back, everybody else crowded around him to keep him in place for a picture. Yeah, Leiden, I just can't see him making through 90 minutes of this thing with no aid, no earpieces, just a piece of paper and a pencil to write thoughts down, if he has any. And it's going to work in Trump's favor great, because, see, last time Trump, everybody accused him of yelling and screaming and talking over Biden. Well, guess what? You get your 2 minutes to talk, then they shut your microphone off. So Trump can yell and scream all he wants. Nobody's going to hear him. His mic's off. So here you go, Joe Biden. Your 2 minutes to talk, and Trump won't interrupt you this time. He's not going to take up your time, so you can tell him whatever. I mean, it was funny the last. And Trump won't be able to do that. So Joe's on his own now. He's got to fill the whole 2-3 minutes that he has to talk on the subject and make sense and not mumble. So I don't know how he's going to do it. But the thing is, you're going to have saves there. Jake Tapper and Dana Bash from CNN, they're the ones who are going to be moderating it. And you know what? I can just see them coming to Trump's rescue. I mean, these people hate Trump, but Trump don't care. He'll debate them anyway under their terms. They laid out the terms. Trump just said, okay, whatever you want to do, I don't care. Get him to sit down here, but he's not going to have papers. He's not going to have teleprompters. He's not going to have anything. He's going to have to play this himself. And of course, there's no coincidence with June 27th. I mean, the Democrats are afraid of this debate. They don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to act, how he's going to make it. As a matter of fact, he's secluded in Camp David until the debate. They put him away. They put him on ice so he could somehow practice this or whatever they're going to do. Maybe they're going to put an implant in him. You can't see to talk to him. I don't know. But he's gone for a week. You're not going to see him. He's not available for a week practicing while Trump is out campaigning. But the date of the debates had to be set before the conventions, which is never done ever. But they had to, because if this guy has a bad debate, I mean, he gets slaughtered. They're going to have to find somebody else to run. If he can't make it through this, they're going to have to find somebody else. So they need it before the convention so they can call in a savior. I don't know, Michelle Obama, Gavin Newsom, whoever, because they got to have somebody to run. So we'll see how it turns out. Biden's going to have to talk. The mics are up. Trump can't interrupt him and take up most of the time this time. He's going to have to talk, and they can't have any props or anything like that. So we'll see if he can do it. It's going to be the debate of the century. Everybody around the world is going to be listening to this debate without a doubt, and it's going to be a train wreck, as Biden most likely will self implode right before your eyes. But the one thing is, the expectations for Biden have been set so low by the media. So low. If he can even sit there for an hour and a half without falling over, and he mumbles a few words, that's going to be a success to them. It's going to be a big success. So we'll see how it all plays out. Not to be missed. If you got to turn on the TV June 27th and watch this debate. That's all there is to it. It's all there is to it. It's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. Now, let's go over to the Mideast. Well, actually, let's stay in Canada. I got a little story about Canada. And it's about the Mideast, though. And it's basically Canada has finally declared the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, a terrorist group. What do you know? They declared them a terrorist group. I can't believe it. The Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps. They said it's a terrorist group. 5 years after the United States did. They're 5 years late to the party. And you know Trudeau, he likes and treats terrorists with respect. I mean, the one guy gave $10.5 million to. I mean, this isn't a big deal from Canada. We really mean nothing in the big picture. But as more NATO countries declare, the pressure has increased on the Iranians, pressuring them to quit supporting their proxy groups, causing mayhem in the Mideast, right? So I'm glad they declared, but, you know, a little bit late to the dance, but better late than never, I guess. Now, the Houthis have sunk 2 major ships in the Red Sea, causing chaos in shipping, only successful because of Iranian support. Hezbollah leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah is planning on a speech today, talking about Israel's war on Gaza and perhaps declaring war on Israel. They don't know what this guy's going to do. He could declare war on Israel from South Lebanon, right? That's where the Hezbollah run everything, and they're their own entity. They have their own government and everything. North Lebanon, not so much, but South Lebanon, yes, Hezbollah. And they've been launching attacks on Israel anyway, so they're their own game, but Palestinian refugees, you know, they support these guys. Of course, they're all supported by Iran. Let's face it, right? We know that. So this is the opportunity to free Palestine, they say. Most feel Friday will be the moment that a major decision from Hezbollah will be made, and that could be a declaration of war on Israel. Wow. That's a huge escalation if they do that. Huge escalation. When the Hezbollah leader says, what he says, this Nasrallah says, could determine whether the conflict spreads even bigger than it is right now. The Arab world waits while Iran is sending money and weapons to support these proxy terrorist states, and Biden tries to figure out exactly what the Mideast is going to happen. You know, he don't know. Biden, he don't even know where the Mideast is. These other guys, though, I mean, they're could expand this war. So we're going to hear from that today. I don't know if we already have. I haven't seen any announcements yet about what his what he said. But at the end of the day, yeah. I'm going to close this door. We have people coming in, and I don't want to be interrupted. So so we don't know what's going to happen with that. We have to wait for something, but that's an interesting development, and it could escalate this pretty quickly if this guy decides he's going to up the ante against Israel. And they've already been shooting a lot of rockets and everything, so anything is possible. Anything can happen. Have to keep our eyes open for that one. Let's go back to Niagara Falls. You know, some things get in your craw and you can't let them go. And for me, that something is this $35 parking pass the mayor is suggesting for everybody in Niagara Falls. If you want to buy a $35 parking pass, and the more I think about it, the madder I get. The madder I get. You know, we pay taxes, and we've had our taxes up 13%. So why does he want to charge us $35 for the passing parking pass? He says something about Russian roulette trying to find a parking space. Well, you know what? What does he care if we play Russian roulette with the parking meters? We park there and hope we don't get a ticket. We try to beat him. What does he care? It's a game. Everybody plays that game. Most people don't want a $50 ticket or whatever it is, so they pay. But there's a few of us that like to play that game. Oh, we're just going to run in and run out and we should be okay. Who cares? What does he care about? Also, he says the new pass is only for 2 hours and uses the excuse that you don't want employees parking in front of the business and use it all day. You put 2 hours on a pass, even a free one, it'll be the same thing. If you give everybody who pays taxes a pass, they get a free one. And you can only park 2 hours, so that won't be a problem. I mean, there's so excuses. They're just gaslighting us. Do they think we're stupid? I mean, come on. We should have them for free. We deserve it. We deserve it. I mean, it's just I don't even know what to say anymore about the city. I mean, there's one little thing they can do for the taxpayers. One little thing. And Eric Idle, the general manager of Municipal Don't Works, he was the same baloney. Same baloney. Why does he want to grab us for $35? Are you kidding me? And the only counselor that stood for the people was Counselor Lori Lococo, who wanted to know the repercussions of offering the pass for free. I thought we were going to do some investigations, she said, to see what the repercussions of giving them out for free are. Because people have said, why are you zipping us for $35, Mayor Jim? Why are you grabbing us? But that was shot down real fast. Of course, they shot that down. Imagine for the number of people that are going to buy this pass, and I don't think there's going to be many. I mean, they're gonna say, "Oh, 50 people took advantage." You know, like it's a big deal. You know, there's how many thousands of taxpayers in Niagara Falls? I mean, 30, 40, 50,000 if they get 50. They couldn't give them out for free. I mean, how much are they really going to lose giving them out for free? And, not even to do a study. I mean, just do it for a year and see how much it costs us. If it costs us $500,000, okay. If it costs us 20 grand, what a nice little perk for the people, right? But we have to find out first. I mean, they kicked us in the jewels with a 13% tax over the last 2 years on our property taxes. I mean, come on, $35, make it free. Bunch of grinders and weasels. The residents put up with unnecessary tax hikes, 2 casinos, tourist traffic, bad roads, ghetto domes, a dirty, filthy city, and overgrown, noxious weeds, and they want to grab us for $35. I don't get it. To park once a year anywhere, but anywhere you want to park, it's not going to matter. It's not going to make a difference. Anywhere that you want to park or you need to park is already full. You want to use it at the hospital? Go during visiting hours. See how many spaces there are there. Because the hospital charges $8 to walk in and walk out, basically. So yeah, people park on the streets, throw their toonie in, and they run in, say hello to their loved ones, and run back out before the meter expires. What would it take? You're not going to get any parking down there if you pay $35. If you think that's going to help you at the hospital, forget about it. There's not that much on-street parking there. Can't use the city parking lots. That's a no-no with this pass. You can't go and park behind on Center Street there to go over to Yanks and have some pizza and wings. No. Unless you can find on-street parking, and that's usually a chore. You're better off paying $5 or whatever and parking in one of those lots if you can get it for $5 anymore. I don't know. And hopefully, you know, you don't run out there anyway. It's $5 for all day parking or $10 or whatever. But still, I mean, like, come on, think about it. How would you feel? Imagine this. I was running for mayor. This is one of the first thing I'd do. Free. Anything I could do, free. It's not going to cost the city a ton of money. At least they could do stuff a free pass in everyone's tax bill envelope. Can you imagine? You get your tax bill, you look at it, and then you gotta go puke. You gotta go to the bathroom and throw up, and you see it. But imagine if there was this nice little pass that said, because you're a taxpayer and we love our citizens and taxpayers, you support the city. Here's a free pass for you to park for 2 hours at any on-street parking in the city. How would you feel about that? Think of how would you feel. You'd feel great. The city cares. I got a free pass. When I'm going downtown, if I want to park, I don't have to feed the meter. I don't have to worry about it for 2 hours. I can go into Grand Central and have lunch. I can go to the Highlight and have breakfast. I can go to the Havana Club over here and have lunch or dinner. I can go to Camp Cataract. I can go to the ice cream joint, who, by the way, is taking up parking spaces. Is he paying for it? How much is he paying to have that space? I want to know. I'm going to have to ask Lori, get a straight answer out of her. But yeah, so you know what? This is just a nice little perk for being a citizen of Niagara Falls, tax-paying citizen, and they screwed it up. And you wonder why it irks me. It just bothers me. Just bothers me. He's zipping us for 35 lousy dollars. Picking our pockets. We don't pay enough. Picking our pockets. We don't put up with enough. Picking our pockets. When it doesn't get you mad, it should. And if it gets me mad, well, I am. And you know what? I got to let this go, though. This is just the kind of council we have. This is what 27% turnout gets you. One person standing up. You think every one of those councilors would have stood up and said something about this? Oh, yeah, it was Mayor Jim's motion. You know what? Mayor Jim, no. No, we're not charging them. Either free or let them pay at the meter. We're not charging them. Yeah, okay. I'm a goof. Who cares? Who cares? Give us something. Give us something. It's time. It's time to quit gouging us and trying to grab more money out of our pockets. Give us something. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, you know what? There's always bad news. There's always bad news. Something always irks me to the point where I get carried away with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting to it. Maybe people don't care if they don't have to go pay it if they don't want. I mean, they don't have to get a pass. But I just think it'd be so nice. It'd be so nice. Such a nice touch. Such a common sense approach. Something of a we care. We care. Yeah. Well, let's get a good news story to finish off the week, right? Because we've talked about all kinds of crazy bad stuff. Let's talk about something good for a change, right? So, a local couple has donated 1 million to the new hospital capital campaign. How nice is that? These people stepping up. They're stepping up and doing something. Congratulations to this couple. And who it is Mary and Alfredo Varelli. Now, they've donated 1 million to the new hospital and are now recognized as future builder donors. Congratulations to them. As such, the nuclear medicine room in the hospital's diagnostic imaging department will be named the Alfredo and Mary Varelli Nuclear Medicine Room. Beautiful. It's so refreshing to see local citizens that have done well in the city step up and make this huge commitment. Alfredo is the president of Roman Cheese Products Limited, a well-known entity in Niagara Falls for many, many years. Who hasn't been to Roman Cheese? Alfredo immigrated from Italy at 16. He eventually purchased a small cheese company in 1965, and the rest is Niagara Falls history. I mean, I don't think there's too many people in Niagara Falls that haven't heard of Roman cheese or been to Roman cheese. Seriously, what a great gift. And Alfredo and Mary hope their contribution will inspire others to contribute to a community that has given them so much. They wanted to give something back to the people that supported their business for so many years, and we thank them. Thank you very much. Kudos to the Varellis, and thank you for the great food products you have brought to Niagara Falls and the world since 1965. I know Liz goes to the Roman cheese all the time, at least once a week, maybe more if she feels like it. And we get all their stuff, and most of their stuff is really good. Um, their cheeses, their meats, their sausage, their frozen goods, lasagna, and stuff like that. Excellent products they make. They've been around for a long time, and they're giving back. Thank you very much. And my tip of the hat goes to all these big guys in town: the Branscombs, the Gales, now the Borellis, everybody who's donated to that hospital. I don't know all of them. John McBain, I mean, like a local resident lives in Switzerland now. The McBain Center's named after him. You just got to give them credit for what they do for the city. And there's more. I'm sorry if I miss people. There's people who are contributing every day, and not just money. They're contributing their time and their effort for the betterment of Niagara Falls. And it's so nice to see that. And I've had a lot of the people who are like that do that right in the studio here, right in the studio, right? So yeah. Oh, and some other good news. I mean, that's great. Thank you very much. Other good news: they trimmed the meteor crater. Look at that. They gave the meteor crater a haircut. I was yelling about it yesterday. They gave the meteor crater a haircut right around the rim. It's bald in the middle there. It's got the big 15-foot hole in gravel. Well, not so much gravel anymore. It's being inundated with weeds. They don't get in the meteor crater and do the weeds there, but around the outside anyway. And yeah, they gave it a haircut. Looks like Friar Tuck. Short all around and bald in the middle. But there you go. There you go. The City Council's right on the ball. Right on the ball. Tony Baldinelli. Before you start charging people, take care of your own business, he told City Council. Bam! Gotcha. I love it. I love it. Okay, so anyway, we're getting down to the end of the show here. I might finish 5 minutes early, who knows? But we have a week coming up next week, of course. Absolutely, one show left before the draft on next Friday. A week today, around 7 o'clock it starts, I think, and we're going to be doing a live show from Absolutely with Drew Deeks on the draft. We're going to watch it and comment it as the draft picks go down. So if you're into the draft and you want to see what our comments are, just tune in to Absolutely. It'll be live, and we'll be talking the draft. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Of course, Absolutely, we're Habs fans, so we're waiting for pick number 5 and pick number 26 and seeing what Ken Hughes does before that. But, San Jose Sharks, Chicago Blackhawks, they all got good picks. Anaheim Ducks, Columbus Blue Jackets, Utah, the new Utah team. They all got really good picks. They're going to be looking to grab good players, and there's a whack of them. I mean, Celebrini is number 1, but after that, there's a whack of them. It's going to be a really good draft this year. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of question marks, a lot of unknowns, but it's all going to be settled a week tonight, next Friday, at the NHL draft in Las Vegas at the Dome this year. Not the ghetto dome, the real dome, right in Las Vegas. It's going to be an awesome show. As well, we have it could be the last game of the NHL playoffs tonight. Edmonton and Florida. Now, of course, the Edmonton Oilers are the darlings of the Canadians. Every Canadian wants the Oilers to bring the cup back to Canada. Well, they were down 3-0. They rose like the phoenix from the ashes, and they're back into the series 3-2. They're at home tonight. Can they pull it off again? Stay tuned. This could go to 7, and that's going to be a slobber knocker of a game as well in 3 days. So today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Probably go next Tuesday. if they win tonight. If not, Florida wins it. They're cup champions, and that's that. And that's that. So anyway, that's what's going on. And then next Friday, if you're ever going to tune into this show, next Friday is going to be the one. Because I have Mike Lucid coming in, a resident and business owner in the Queen Street area since 2019. And he is going to be talking University of Niagara Falls. That's right, Gus. And believe me, what he's going to tell you, it blew my mind. It totally blew my mind. And he's coming in to talk about it. And believe me, you have to hear what this guy has to say. It's going to be a fantastic show. Next Friday, tune in live at noon. This guy is a fireball, and he's gonna be talking big, man. I can't even explain what's going to happen, but it's going to be something else. Anyway, my name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls. I want to thank my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. I want to thank my listeners. Thank you for tuning in. This video will be on YouTube. Go there, give it a like, subscribe. Come on, let's go. Let's get this going. This is all about your city. It's your tax dollars we're talking about. It's about your city. And if you have any questions or anything, message them to me. Just message them. Put them on Your City, Your Voice. Put them on my Paul K. Lemire Facebook page. Text me at 905-353-7560. Give me your questions. Give me news around town. Give me what you're seeing. And I'll definitely talk about it on air. Definitely, without a doubt. I thank Ray Spiteri and John Law and Allison Langley and all the other guys that write for the Review and St. Catharines Standard, because they do investigative reporting. All I do is transmit the information to you and then give you my opinion on it. And of course, nobody agrees with me, or maybe some do. But either way, you got my opinion. You got what I think about it. Common sense, trying to use common sense to figure things out. And that's all I can do. At the end of the day, it's your city, it's your voice, they're your tax dollars, and you got to know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, then I don't know what to tell you. You hand somebody over $4,000 a year and you don't want to know where it's going and what's happening with it? Of course you do. What? It's crazy if you don't. And you should be getting out and voting too, because that's where your real voice comes. Like, you can have all the protests you want in rallies and everything else we do. We try to get people's attention and get people to think. But at the end of the day, if they don't go out and vote, it really doesn't matter. Like I said yesterday, a small special interest group with a lot of people voting for them could take over the city council in one election. They all vote for each other. 8 people with 5,000 votes all vote for each other. And guess what? They take over. That's what 27% turnout. They can't do it when there's 60 or 70% turnout. No, there's too many other people. But with that small of a turnout, all they have to do is get their group together, get support, and they can take over. So it's important you get out and vote. You get the city council you deserve. And if you don't like what this city council is doing, you don't like having to have your $35 scooped out of your pocket, hey, it's time for a change. You got to vote. And I know I'm a little bit early with this because the next election is until 2026. And we're just coming up on 2 years for this council. But we got to start thinking about it. We got to start rallying the troops now. It's never too early. 2026 will be here before you know it. Anyway, I digress. I'm out of here. I'm going to enjoy the weather. I'm going to sit out in this weather, and I'm going to let the climate change people worry about it, about the world ending and everything else. And I'm going to go sit and have a drink and sit by the pool and jump in and enjoy it. I'm enjoying this weather because it doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. September will be crying about, wow, I wish it was summer again. Summer's over. Everything closes down. Winter's here. Guess what? Enjoy it. My name's Paul K. Lemire. I am out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you Monday with Manic Monday. And you never know, I might have a guest. Sometimes I have a guest, sometimes I don't. Either way, doesn't matter. We'll do something. Take care. Bye bye.